Oh my God, man. I just posted on Twitter. How the fuck do I review a show like this? I don't even know what to say, dude. I don't even know what to say. Same way you do every other review, with excellence, truthfulness, and intelligence. Give your honest star ratings or something. I don't know. Literally just sit and clap for 30 minutes or something. It was literally the perfect takeover. LOL, I know it's overwhelming, dude, but JD, you got this, man. You're the greatest of all time when it comes to wrestling YouTubers. With what Champa just did, the way he came out, the same way Ziggler comes out with no music, Tommaso did that 10 times better than Dolph ever did it. Man, you guys are going crazy, man. You're blowing up my Twitter. Man. Right, that's what I call a pay-per-view. Brother, just let your soul pour and do what you've always done. Be elite. Man, I honestly, I'm at a loss for words, man. I genuinely don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say to you guys, man. For the first time in a long time when watching a wrestling show, I'm left absolutely speechless. I sat and I seen a tweet from Steven Larson during the ladder match. And they were like, we're not live tweeting during this. We just want to kind of take it in. I wish I could do that. If I'm not taking notes during a show, then I feel like I'm not doing my job. I will probably end up rewatching this show when this review is over, just to kind of get the fans' perspective of it and not the critique of the show. I had to sit there and watch this as a critic. Because there's just so much that goes into a takeover show. And you guys know when I talk about NXT, I always use the term attention to detail. There's a lot of things tonight that I wanted you guys to hopefully pick up on when NXT was doing what they do best. Attention to detail when it comes to NXT shows, man. I'll probably end up going back and watching this, like I said, and watching it as a fan and not a critic. But I can wholeheartedly say, man, and I know there's a lot of people that agree with me out there, I'm fucking exhausted. I really am. I had 4 hours of recording today for a 2-hour off the script. That includes editing and rendering and uploading and tagging and titling and thumbnailing and all that. Just by what I recorded today and giving you my WrestleMania predictions. I'm fucking exhausted. I didn't get much sleep last night, and then I knew this was going to be a show that was going to be emotional. It was going to suck the soul out of everybody because of how great it was going to be. What we watched tonight was not only the greatest takeover that WWE has ever produced. Tonight was probably one of the best things that WWE has ever produced, period. And I mean that wholeheartedly. Not only was this the best takeover ever, this was one of the best WWE pay-per-views that they have ever put on. NXT, you guys know how I love NXT, and I don't want to fanboy, and I don't want to mark out over what Triple H is doing in NXT, because I say it every Wednesday. I feel like a broken record, and I don't want to do that. With what NXT is doing right now in the world of professional wrestling, they are the benchmark for excellence. When you want perfection, and when you want to see how a wrestling show should be done every single time, every week, every month, every major pay-per-view that WWE accompanies with an NXT takeover, if you want the benchmark for how a show should be constructed, NXT takeover is the end-all be-all. They are the ones in which you use them as the measuring stick. Everybody else needs to catch up to what they're doing. And that includes Ring of Honor and New Japan. I'm sorry for you New Japan guys out there. Even Impact. You Impact clowns over there. NXT and what Triple H does with every takeover, they are the benchmark for what a wrestling pay-per-view should be. And I don't want to hear anybody's opinion because it's going to go in one ear and out the other. Simple as that. I've never seen a pay-per-view that has taken you on the highs and lows, the roller coaster ride that NXT TakeOver was, man. The emotion of Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Champa, the unpredictability of the ladder match, 6 guys pouring their soul into a match, some of them for the first time ever in a WWE ring. 6 guys pouring their soul into the ring, into this match, risking their bodies and their lives for the first ever North American Championship, to be crowned, to be called the first ever North American Championship, or champion. It's unbelievable. Then you have Roderick Strong doing what he did tonight and making Undisputed Era even stronger than they were going into this pay-per-view. It's unbelievable, man. I don't really know what to say sitting here. The greatest takeover of all time. I knew it was going to be. WWE fucking blew that away after match 1. After match 1. If I was to pick something of a negative here, because I would not be doing my job if I did not critique. The one thing that bothered me about this show was the match order. I told you during WrestleMania's build and going into WrestleMania, I don't remember if I mentioned it on the preview and predictions video for WrestleMania today on Off the Script. If you guys missed it, go and watch it. The one thing that I mentioned that was and should be a priority for WWE going into WrestleMania on Sunday night is the fact that their match order needs to be a priority. The matches and the way that they are placed on Sunday night need to be a priority. If there's one thing I will say is a negative about NXT TakeOver, it's the match order. I did not at all expect them to start this show with a 6-man ladder match for the North American Championship. I thought that match was going to steal the show, and I thought that crowning a first ever North American champion would be higher on the priority list and towards the end of the show. I would have not started the show with that ladder match. That ladder match was one of the greatest ladder matches that WWE has ever produced. And you're going to put that on first. And with what we've seen tonight, for 35 fucking minutes of a 6-man ladder match for that North American Championship, that match took the life out of everybody going into match number 2. I would have not started the show off with that match. In fact, I would have made that match the main event of the show. That's what I would have did. I love Johnny Gargano. Believe me, I am the biggest Johnny Gargano mark that you could probably find in the community. But I do not put his career as a main event closing match over a first ever North American Championship. I'm sorry. I'm not going to put a man's career on the line, and I'm not going to make that a priority over the North American Championship or the NXT Championship for that matter. That doesn't send a good message. But I'm not going to complain about it because I love Johnny Gargano, and the match that he and Tommaso Champa had tonight was off the fucking chain. But those are my critiques. Those are my negatives about NXT. I would have not started the show off with the ladder match. In fact, I would have started the show off with the Dusty Finals. That's what I would have started the show off with. Because if you were planning a Roderick Strong heel turn and him joining Undisputed, which that's what happened tonight, he turned on Pete Dunne, I think that was a big enough segment in that match. That was a big enough portion of that match that would get that crowd riled up as a great opening match. The match itself didn't do anything for me. But the fact that Roderick Strong turned on Pete Dunne, joined Undisputed, and helped them retain the titles, that was a big enough moment in that match where you could pretty much warrant an opening match and make the crowd go crazy for a little bit to start TakeOver. Then you go into Shayna Baszler and Ember Moon. If you're going to follow the ladder match that we seen tonight with those women, they were dead in the water before the bell even rang. Then you go to the tag team match. Then you do the NXT Championship match. And then you give us the unsanctioned match with Ciampa and Gargano. I didn't like that match order at all. I didn't like that match order whatsoever. I would have done the tag team match first. I would have done the women second. I would have done Gargano and Ciampa third. I would have done the ladder match fourth. And then I would have done Aleister Black and Andrade Cien Almas last. Or if you wanted to switch the title match, with the North American title, put that on last and put Aleister Black and Andrade Cien Almas on fourth, I would have been okay with that because that's a moment where you're crowning a first ever champion for a new championship belt. That would have been okay. One time only, because I don't expect this title to main event any other takeovers, that would have been okay with me. But I don't know if WWE did anybody any favors with the match order because that entire crowd was taken out of it for the majority of this show after that ladder match. They kind of picked it up again during the tag team match when Roddy turned heel. They picked it up for sure during the Andrade Cien Almas Aleister Black match. No way that they couldn't, because that was a great match. And then Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, the way the story was and the way the match started out, it felt a little bit underwhelming. And then obviously, in typical Johnny Gargano fashion, he raises the level towards the end of the match, and everybody was standing on their feet. But the match order was the one thing that I would have done completely differently about NXT Takeover, of NXT Takeover. But other than that, it was a perfect show. Absolutely perfect show from top to bottom. Commentary, everybody was on fire, man. New Orleans, you brought your fire. Great shit, great crowd, great NXT Takeover, man. Unbelievable stuff. I honestly don't even know how I can review this show, man. I don't know what you guys want me to say. The show started off with the ladder match for the NXT North American Championship. The title looks fucking fantastic. I don't buy replica belts, but I'm buying that replica belt. It is fucking gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous, man. EC3, Killian Dane, Lars Sullivan, Ricochet, Adam Cole, and the Velveteen Dream. Are you guys sold on Ricochet? Are you guys sold on Ricochet yet? I think I am. I have been. I hope you guys are, man. What a match. What a fucking match. 6 guys who poured their fucking soul into a first ever North American Championship opportunity, and they stole the fucking show. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Velveteen Dream. Velveteen Dream. Let's go spot by spot here because these guys, all 6 of them, legitimately fucking killed each other. Velveteen Dream dropped Lars Sullivan, uses the ladder to take out the big man. Dream climbs up to the top rope, nails a huge elbow on Killian Dane. Dream goes back up top, nails an elbow on Adam Cole. Dream goes back up top, hits a big elbow again on Ricochet. Lars then gets up, stops Dream from going up again. They go at it. Dream then gets the upper hand. Lars gets back down. He's on the mat. Dream climbs the ladder that's standing near the corner, and he pulled off his inner Jeff Hardy. Dream stands on top of the very ladder and nails the most perfect purple Rainmaker I have ever seen. Crowd was going fucking crazy, chanting for Velveteen Dream. Dream then sets up the ladder. He's thinking he's got a clear spot to climb up and grab the belt. Climbs up for the title, gets his hands on it. EC3 comes in from behind, powerbombs Dream from the ladder to another ladder that's leaning in the corner. Dream was fucked up. Killian Dane has his turn with the ladder, man. He grabs a ladder, drops it on top of EC3. Dane then, with a senton on top of EC3 and the ladder, which I don't know what sense that made. I don't know if EC3 took the worst of that. I think Killian Dane took the worst of that. Dane then places the ladder on top of EC3 again. And this was one of my favorite spots of the entire night. Dane goes up to the second rope. Adam Cole comes in like a fucking spider monkey, jumps on top of Killian Dane and attacks him from behind. Cole climbs up to the second rope with Killian Dane on his back. Killian Dane has Adam Cole on his back. Dane ends up hitting a Vader bomb onto EC3. The ladder and Adam Cole's head bounces right into Killian Dane's shoulder, fucking with whiplash effect, and it was absolutely fucking brutal, man. Unbelievable spot. Ricochet, finally getting him involved here, man. Ricochet attacks Dane, but Lars throws him into the corner. So we got Killian Dane in one corner, and we got Ricochet just kind of, in between with Lars on the opposite end. You ever watch that scene from Jurassic Park 2, it was, The Lost World? And we got the scientists who pretty much kidnapped the baby Tyrannosaurus Rex, and they're trying to aid it back to health because it's injured, right? And then they're in the trailer, and we see the two T-Rexes, the mama and the daddy T-Rex, on both sides of the trailer. This is what I envisioned when I watched Killian Dane and Lars Sullivan fucking having their way with Ricochet. Lars Sullivan tosses Ricochet like a piece of trash over to Killian Dane. He lands right in front of Killian Dane's feet. The crowd starts chanting, "Throw him back! Throw him back!" Killian Dane tosses Ricochet right back over to Lars Sullivan, man. It was like two Tyrannosaurus Rexes feasting on poor Ricochet here. Dane then points at Lars and says, "You can do better." They start playing tag with him, so it was fucking awesome. Dane then gets into it with Lars. They go at it. He gets the upper hand on Lars, but Lars catches him in mid-move. He catches him in a power slam, and he slams him down. Dane goes to the floor. Lars stands up on a ladder, but Ricochet comes flying in from nowhere as if he's fucking Spider-Man climbing the Empire State Building. Fucking climbs up, but Lars pushes the ladder over, right? So Ricochet's on the ladder. Lars sees this. He climbs down and, in typical fashion, tilts the ladder over the top rope. But Ricochet, he ain't gonna land like any normal human fucking being. The guy does a fucking picture-perfect moonsault as the ladder is tilting over the rope, and he lands on the floor, taking out Killian Dane and Adam Cole in the process, man. Holy shit, chants going all over the fucking place. And I love the way the announcers played it up. Like, this is no normal man. For any normal man, this is fucking doomsday. But for Ricochet, he turned a negative into a positive, is exactly what Mauro Ranallo said, man. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Ricochet, then, he gets his time and some offense in. He ends up hitting a shooting star press on a ladder on EC3. They have one ladder standing and one ladder bridging from that corner now. Dream gets put on the ladder. So you got a ladder in the ring, and then you got a ladder bridging from the ladder to the turnbuckle. We got Ricochet and Velveteen Dream fighting on the ladder that's, vertical here, or horizontal rather. The one that's built as a bridge. They're standing on the bridge ladder. So Dream and Ricochet go back at it. I thought Dream was going to fall through one of the fucking rungs on the ladder. Dream scoops Ricochet up for a rolling Death Valley driver on the bridged ladder. I was doing holy shit because I thought he was going to fall through. Lars ends up hitting the floor. He is there with Dream, and he nails Dream with a lariat. Lars smiles. He picks Dream up and places him onto a ladder. These ladders were bridged all over the fucking place, man. This was like someone had a field day in Home Depot. Lars places Dream on the ladder. We got another ladder that's horizontal from the American announce table, and then another ladder that's horizontal on the other announce table. It might have been the Spanish guys. So we got two ladders now, horizontal bridge from the apron to the announce table. Dream is laying on one of them. Lars goes to the apron. EC3 comes out of nowhere from behind. Lars brings EC3 to the apron, facing the ladder bridge. Lars slams EC3 through Dream, through the ladder, and the fans are going fucking crazy. At this point, EC3 was fucking dead. He was dead. So, we got EC3 going through the ladder and through Dream. Dane then scoops Ricochet up and places him on the other bridge ladder. And Adam Cole comes out of nowhere to stop Killian Dane's destruction. Dane scoops Cole and slams him through Ricochet and the ladder. Everybody's going fucking crazy. Everybody is going fucking crazy at this point. Everybody's down. Towards the end of this match, we get one of those typical ladder match sequences with multi-man guys in the match. We got one ladder, two ladder, three ladder. We got two guys on one, two guys on the other, and then we got Velveteen Dream on his own fucking ladder. Dream comes close to getting the title. Ricochet trades shots with him up high. Ricochet ducks a right hand and brings Dream to the mat with a huge neck breaker off the ladder. Lars and Dane go at it from up top on the ladder. Lars chokeslams Dane to the mat from the middle of the ladder. Lars climbs up for the title. Ricochet springboards again like fucking Spider-Man coming out of nowhere. He tries to take him down and the ladder down, successfully does so. Ricochet looks to be climbing the ladder, looks to be winning the title. Adam Cole comes running in, knocks him off. Cole reaches up and grabs the title, and Adam Cole is the new first ever North American champion for NXT, man. One of the greatest ladder matches you will ever see. I did it no justice. You have to go and watch this shit. If you're not watching NXT, you are doing yourself a massive fucking disservice. I'm telling you right now. If you'd enjoy NXT TakeOver tonight, you shouldn't even be watching wrestling. What a match. 6 guys who poured their fucking soul into this match. Unbelievable. Now, I don't know if Adam Cole is the right winner here, but clearly, I've been saying it. You see how high WWE is on Adam Cole. I would have given it to the Velveteen Dream, to be quite honest with you, because I think Dream and a Ricochet feud for the title would have been fucking fantastic. But Undisputed Era is, listen, they're the kings of NXT. And WWE is looking to make sure that everybody knows that. Adam Cole is the next number one man in WWE, man. When you talk about number one guys, Adam Cole is going to be right up there in discussion. They're giving this guy major billing and top priority in NXT. Unbelievable. I did not expect Adam Cole to win this match. I thought that they would retain the tag team titles. I didn't think they would give Adam Cole double titles. So this is surprising to me. I didn't expect EC3 to win it. I didn't expect Dane or Lars Sullivan to win it. I didn't expect Ricochet to win it. Especially EC3 and Ricochet. I didn't expect them to win it in their first time out there. Those guys are going to be ones chasing the title. Velveteen Dream was the only one that I thought would win the title, but Adam Cole is your new North American champion. One thing I did notice, I don't know if it's the crowd, they're not familiar with EC3, I'm sure they are, this is a smart mark crowd. EC3, got a nice reaction when he came out, but during the match, they were pretty much dead for EC3, and I don't know why. I hope that changes. And the reason why I think that was because there was so many differing personalities in him, man. Adam Cole is fucking over. He is over. Velveteen Dream is over. Ricochet was fucking unbelievable. People love Ricochet, right? People love Killian Dane just for the fucking fact that he's a big man for the size that he is and he's that athletic. Lars was but EC3 barely got any reaction when he was doing his spots in this match. I hope that changes, and I think that has to do with the fact that he was in there with 5 other guys, 3 of them being some of the most popular independent talents in the world. So the fact that EC3 was there with all those guys is probably the reason why he didn't get as solid of a reaction as people were expecting. So when he's on his own, we don't know whether he's going to be a babyface or a heel. We don't know yet. But when he's on his own, away from guys like this, I think he'll be fine. So give him a few, man. This is his first match out there. Give him a month and a half to see how he matures in NXT. I think EC3 will be fine. Shayna Baszler versus Ember Moon, man. I enjoyed their last match. I enjoyed their match at TakeOver Philadelphia. I didn't really enjoy this match, but I loved the ending. Attention to detail. Shayna Baszler and Ember Moon really didn't burn the house down with this match. I fully expected Shayna Baszler to win the NXT Women's Championship. That's exactly what happened here. Ember Moon is the new NXT Women's Champion. He had Ronda Rousey and Jessamine Duke sitting front row. Okay, obviously the 4 horsewomen are going to have a major showing, major presence at WrestleMania, and they were going to be there to cheer on Shayna Baszler. First of all, Lizzie Hale and Hailstorm performed a great version of Ember Moon's theme song. So I kind of joked to myself, I'm like, well, Ember Moon has the live music playing. I guess that's her consolation prize for her losing the title tonight to Shayna Baszler. There was a eclipse off the top to the outside on the floor, which was very nicely done. Referees counting both superstars to the floor. They make it back in by a 9 count. Baszler gets this Kirifuda clutch applied out of nowhere. That's exactly what the move is called. She applies that to Ember Moon, but Ember Moon goes back to working on her arm. Now, Shayna Baszler during this match had an injured shoulder. Ember Moon got to the shoulder. Shayna Baszler found an opportunity by herself for a moment to try and pop the shoulder back in. Apparently, they were playing off the fact that Shayna Baszler had a separated shoulder. So she goes to the turnbuckle, or the ring post rather, and she starts ramming her shoulder into the turnbuckle. Now, another critique here. If you're going to do something like that, at least give me some force behind what you're trying to do. Shayna Baszler had some weak shots on that ring post to give us the perception of maybe she should be doing that a little bit harder if she really wants me to believe that she's popping her shoulder back in. So she should have did it a little bit more forcefully if she wanted to create the perception of her shoulder being separated. That's just what I see. But I enjoyed the fact that they incorporated that into the match. Ember Moon goes up for another Eclipse attempt, and out of nowhere. Now, you know how the Eclipse has been protected. There's nobody that's been able to kick out except for Asuka. Everybody has been downed. Everybody has fallen to the Eclipse. Shayna Baszler was the first one to counter the Eclipse off the top rope in mid-motion. She goes for the Eclipse, and Baszler goes right back to that Kirifuda clutch. Moon then tries to break free and starts to fade. But Baszler has her injured arm. She can't apply the hold completely with 2 arms. She's only using one arm to choke Ember Moon. Her other arm is used... This was beautiful. Baszler was using her other arm because it was injured, because she couldn't bend it completely to choke out Ember Moon. She applied a grip of hair. She was pulling her own hair to try and, counter Ember Moon from countering or blocking or escaping the hold. Beautiful fucking move. And I love how Morrow played off the fact that she knows and has that instinct based off her MMA. Off of her MMA background. Unbelievable stuff, man. And I mentioned this on Twitter. We have this happening here, and Ronda Rousey should be paying close attention. Shayna Baszler's green as fuck in the ring. She's green as grass. But Shayna Baszler gets it. Shayna Baszler knows, the proper situations and scenarios, and, being in that type of environment, she knows what she's doing. She sells well, and she just comes off as having that natural aspect of the game. I'm hoping Ronda picks up on that. I really am. As far as what Shayna Baszler does in the ring, nothing is really impressing me right now. But Shayna Baszler's, environmental knowledge and her selling and her coming off as being legitimate in these types of situations is very impressive. It is very impressive, man. Hold is applied. The hold is still applied. Ember Moon barely able to move at all. Moon passes out. They immediately stop the match. Baszler is your new WWE NXT Women's Champion. Now, where do we go from here? I think Ember Moon is getting called up. I think Ember Moon is getting called up to the main roster. I think what they're going to do with Shayna Baszler is I think they're going to position Dakota Kai as Shayna Baszler's first opponent. We might see that as a one-off for NXT Takeover Chicago in June during Money in the Bank weekend. Then we're going to get Kairi Sane in a rematch of the Mae Young Classic. WWE's bringing back the Mae Young Classic this year. What better way to follow the Mae Young Classic for the second year with a rematch of last year? That's just my logic behind that. Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn number 4. And I think we're going to get Kairi Sane with the new NXT Women's Champion being crowned then. And I think then, like I mentioned, we're going to get Bianca Belair towards the end of the year going one-on-one with Kairi Sane, man. I think that is what the timetable is for the NXT Women's Championship. But other than that, very impressive performance by Shayna Baszler with that ending. I loved it. And then after the match, she goes and hugs Ronda Rousey and Jessamine Duke on the outside while talking trash and raising the title as she walks up the ramp. NXT Tag Team title match. Triple threat. Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Finals. We got the Authors of Pain We got Undisputed Era with Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole against Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne. This match really didn't do anything for me, man. In fact, I actually enjoyed the match between Pete Dunne, Roderick Strong, and the Authors of Pain on NXT television on the Go Home show. I enjoyed that match more so than I did this one. The biggest thing in this match was the fact that Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne were on their way to winning this match. They were on their way to winning this match, man. Dunne and Strong take turns on Razor and hit a double team for a 2 count. Akam makes the save. He broke up that attempt. Strong ends up sending Akam into the steel steps on the outside. Kyle and Dunne go at it now in the middle of the ring, which I'd love to see those two go at it, man. I think they mixed it up pretty well tonight, Kyle O'Reilly and Pete Dunne. Dunne then drops Kyle, hits the bitter end. We were about to have new tag team champions. He hits the bitter end, and Strong, out of nowhere, comes in and breaks up the pin and attacks Pete Dunne. He breaks up the pin and attacks his own partner, kicks him in the back of the head. Strong then drops Dunne with the end of Heartache, places O'Reilly on top of Dunne, and we have the Undisputed Era retaining the NXT Tag Team Championship. Adam Cole was out of commission for most of this match, and rightfully so. After what the fucking guy did in the ladder match, you're going to put him in a match with the Authors of Pain and Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong. They put him through the table on the outside early on, powerbombed him through an announce table, so he was taken out for most of the match. He comes in to see this happening. End of Heartache on Pete Dunne, his own partner. Roddy turns on Pete Dunne. He takes an armband from the Undisputed Era, puts it on. Adam Cole's fucking smiling like a little schoolgirl. And they all stand as a trio in the middle of the ring, raising each other's hands. Roddy, willingly, happily, giving the NXT Tag Team Championships to Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. It was a beautiful moment. It was a beautiful moment, man. And you have to fucking admire the brilliance of WWE creative in NXT, man. It took a little while, but they knew with Bobby Fish being out, this was the proper time. This was the perfect time to turn Roderick Strong heel. This will be a defining moment for Roderick Strong joining Adam Cole, who was absolutely on fire, and becoming a part of Undisputed, man. This is going to be a turning point in Roddy's WWE career, because he really wasn't going anywhere as a babyface. He did it all. He did it all. Challenged for the Cruiserweight Championship in the tournament. He challenged for the UK Championship. I mean, he's failed at numerous attempts to become NXT champion. What else is there for Roderick Strong to do? Why not? If you can't beat him, join him. He joins probably the best stable in all of WWE right now, and his career is going to be on the up and up. This is a great career move for Roderick Strong, and WWE waited. They knew, man. They knew it, and they picked the perfect time to do the heel turn, and it continues on what Adam Cole tried to do months ago by recruiting Roddy. It didn't work then, but Roddy said, fuck it. Let's do it now on his own. I love it, man. That was one of the best spots of the entire show. That was one of the best spots of the entire show for TakeOver, man. Undisputed Era wins. They retain the Tag Team Championships. Then you had Bobby Fish come out with Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly standing next to the trophy, and they all posed as a foursome, man. Now we just need Donovan Dijak to join Undisputed Era, man, and we'll have an entire fucking Ring of Honor stable in WWE. Great shit. Aleister Black versus Andrade Cien Almas for the NXT Championship. This was a damn good fucking match, as I expected it to be. I mean, everything that Andrade Cien Almas has done has been fucking brilliant. The guy is absolutely fucking fantastic, man. Unbelievable. I don't even know where to begin with this match, man, but a lot of people were complaining to me when I mentioned that, Almas won. He's absolutely fantastic at what he's doing. He's one of the best things in all of WWE right now. With this loss, he probably moves up to the main roster because he certainly has earned the right to be competing with guys like that. Absolutely. A lot of people, were complaining to me, well, JD, you complain about, The Miz using the Miz Taraj, and you complain about Jinder using the Singh brothers to win. Andrade has gotten away with using Zelina Vega in every match, but you don't complain about that. Why? Look at her. Would you not want someone like Zelina Vega doing what she did tonight? I mean, the reason why I don't complain about it is because it doesn't happen all the time with Andrade. Give it time. If it continues to happen, then I'll start complaining about it. Every single time we see The Miz, every single time we see Jinder Mahal, it's the same fucking story. For years now, they've been doing the same goddamn thing. At least with Andrade, he can wrestle. He doesn't need Zelina Vega. The guy can fucking legitimately wrestle. So, and Almas, Zelina Vega's gotten tossed out from time to time. He hasn't used Zelina Vega all the time, but Andrade can certainly win a match on his own. Now, there was a point in this match where Andrade springboarded to the floor and did a corkscrew plancha on top of Aleister Black. Fucking beautiful. And then the urgency of him. He did it in one fluid motion, threw him right back into the ring immediately for a close 2 count. Vega then grabs the NXT Championship. She's like, fuck this shit. Let's give the title to Andrade. We'll walk out, with the title. So the referee's like, what the fuck's going on? The match is not over. Match is not over by a long shot. Referee takes the title away, but Vega comes in, and it was used as a distraction. So she took the title as a distraction, and she knew what she was doing. She got into the ring, and she did a Hurricane Rana on Aleister Black and planted him head first, like RVD-like head first, with that Hurricane Rana. Almas takes advantage, goes for the cover. Black kicks out at 2. Vega on the outside could not believe it. Almas then goes for the hammerlock DDT, but Black blocked it. Black ends up nailing a Black Mass. He only gets a 2 count as Vega, then on the outside, away from the referee's vision, puts Almas's boot on the bottom rope, and she walked away immediately, so the referee didn't see that she was there to begin with, man. Attention to detail. Vega then gets involved again. Aleister Black goes to the top rope because he had Almas down after the Black Mass. She grabs Black's leg, allowing Almas to floor him. Now, Almas hit him, and Black is hanging off the top turnbuckle to the outside in a tree of woe almost. He's trying to get back up. He's on the outside. So we have Almas going up top for a double foot stomp through Black to the outside, off the top rope, as Black is hanging off the apron. Almas comes back in, charges into the corner, does his signature double knees. Almas nails it, covers Black, kicks out. Vega can't believe it. People going crazy at this point. They start trading shots towards the end of the match. They're on the apron. Almas drops Black with a big knife-edge chop. Almas charges with the running knees to Black's face the same way he did it to Johnny Gargano against the ring post. Nailed him. Referee asks Black if he wants to continue. Same thing as Gargano. Black said nothing. Nothing. Almas goes for the draping hammerlock DDT, but Black backdrops him over the top rope to the floor. Black runs in. He runs to the ropes, nails a huge dive over the top rope. Black then brings Almas back into the ring, but Almas nails a hammerlock DDT in which I thought it could have been over. He kicks out of a huge hammerlock DDT. Almas argues with the referee. He thought it was a 3 count. I thought it was a 3 count. Everybody thought it was a 3 count. Vega, again, goes to the top rope. Referee sees her this time. So she jumps off, scared that she was going to get... she might as well have gotten Almas disqualified. He would have kept the title. But she jumps off into Almas's arms. Almas catches her. He turns around. Aleister Black is waiting as he's carrying Vega. Black Mass to the face. 1, 2, 3. Aleister Black wins the NXT Championship. Long time coming. You knew it was coming. It was predictable. But they put on one hell of a fucking match, man. Aleister Black wins the NXT Championship. Man, I don't even know what to say about this shit. I really don't even know what to say about this shit, man. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Champa, man. Let me take a sip of water here before we end this review. This is the last match of the show, man. Last match of the show. I want to state again for all the Romanites out there and Roman Mania happening on Sunday night. When Roman gets his reaction at WrestleMania, it's going to be fuck you heat. Meaning go away heat. Tommaso Ciampa, this is his first match back with WWE after a long 9-month stretch. The guy comes out to no theme music. I absolutely adored that. I loved every minute of Tommaso Ciampa's fucking entrance. People were chanting asshole. People were chanting, "Fuck you, Champa." The guy was literally walking down the ramp with no theme music, with nothing but a chorus of boos and fucking derogatory chants. The guy was standing on the top rope after he took his robe off, and he was like The Rock, smelling just the fucking hatred in the air. He was smelling and embracing the fucking hate as everything was coming down on him, and he loved every fucking minute of it. "Fuck you, Champa," ringing out in the Smoothie King Center, and the guy was like fucking soaking it all in as if he's fucking taking souls from, as if he's fucking Dante in Devil May Cry, taking fucking souls from everybody. The guy is fucking evil. I was about waiting to see him sprout devil horns. He loved it so much. Evil personified. Evil perfected in Tommaso Ciampa, man. The guy is a fucking legend. Is Tommaso Ciampa. Johnny Gargano obviously got the big babyface entrance. Everybody chanting Johnny Wrestling. "Fuck you, Ciampa." Johnny Wrestling, man. Unbelievable shit. Unbelievable shit. This match, I'm going to be completely honest with you, man. I love both. This storyline is the best thing that WWE's done in the last calendar year. When I did my Cruiserweight Championship review, and then I did my top 10 matches of the year for WWE in 2017, or 2016 rather, I included Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano from the Cruiserweight Classic. A lot of people overlooked that match. A lot of people didn't realize that match was that great. JD, why are you putting that match in your top 10? Because it's fucking awesome. And I really didn't remember anything from that match. People went to go back and watch, but like, nah, now I understand why you put it in the fucking top 10. That was built on two friends who loved each other. So it was built on that aspect and the fact that they wanted to outdo one another and advance in the Cruiserweight Classic. It had a completely different back end to it. This one was built on complete hatred. This was built on blood. This was built on betrayal. This was built on revenge. This was built on Ciampa wanting to eradicate Johnny Gargano from his life and NXT forever. This was a blood feud. No titles on the line. Nothing on the line but Johnny Gargano's career. The match started off a little slow and a little underwhelming for my tastes, but it's not a problem that I felt that because we expected a lot right out of the gate with these two. And I don't want to compare it to what they did at the Cruiserweight Classic, but it did feel a little flat when the match first got started. And one of the reasons why I think that happened was because Tommaso Ciampa, this is his first match back. How much do you expect him to legitimately go while the guy's wearing a visible knee brace? He hasn't had a match back. This is his first match back in 9 months. Like, what do you want him to physically do? What do you expect this guy to do coming out of the gates in his first match back in this type of situation, in this type of storyline against Johnny Gargano of all fucking people? So I thought they were going to take it easy for the majority of the match on Tommaso Ciampa. Boy, was I fucking wrong. I still thought that they could have done a little bit more as far as unsanctioned, but, I mean, they pushed the limit as far as that they can push the limit with Tommaso Ciampa being hurt, coming off an injury, rather. There was a spot where Johnny Gargano flew over the announce table and knocked out commentary for about a good 2 minutes. Then it was Nigel McGuinness doing commentary on his own until Mauro Ranallo got himself situated. Sickening suplex off the announce table to Gargano by Ciampa on the padding. Tommaso Ciampa, he goes into the crowd, and there's this fucking geek standing there in a Johnny Gargano t-shirt of all fucking things. This guy obviously was a plant. He's got 2 crutches and a knee brace on. Tommaso Ciampa takes this guy's crutches, both crutches, and he starts smiling. And then one guy next to him was like, "Oh, what are you doing that, man? You can't do that." It reminded me of when Diesel went to the front row and took Mad Dog Vachon's prosthetic leg off of him and used it as a weapon against Shawn Michaels in his last match in WWF before he went over to WCW. This was at In Your House, good friends, better enemies. Kevin Nash legitimately took Mad Dog Vachon's fucking prosthetic leg and started using it as a weapon on Shawn Michaels, and Vince McMahon was going fucking crazy, man. That's what that reminded me of. So obviously now, Tommaso Ciampa's got his favorite weapon to use against Johnny Gargano. So crutches were used. There was an instance in this match where Ciampa pulled up the padding from the mat. He pulled up the mat, right, to reveal the concrete. And there was an instance in this match where Johnny Gargano tried to do a sunset flip powerbomb. Ciampa tried to hold on. Gargano got the powerbomb off, and they legitimately slammed Tommaso Ciampa on the concrete with a sunset flip powerbomb. I don't usually turn away in instances where things like that happened. The more they showed it, the more I turned away, man. The sickening smash of Tommaso Ciampa hitting concrete, coming off a sunset flip powerbomb to the outside on legitimate concrete, was absolutely fucking gut-wrenching. It was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. These guys beat the shit out of each other, man. Crutch shots to the face. There was one, legitimately, we don't see any headshots, but WWE allowed a crutch shot to the head on Tommaso Ciampa. It was ridiculous. Crutch shots, unbelievable fucking, there was a lawn dart on an exposed turnbuckle by Johnny Gargano. Fans are chanting for NXT, and people going crazy. At this point, people were on their feet. They end up in the corner. Gargano on the top, trading shots. Ciampa then climbs up and delivers a headbutt. Ciampa then grabs Gargano. I don't know what he was planning at this point, but Gargano's trying to fight back. Elbows to the head, he's trying to get out of it. Gargano repositions on the top, and Ciampa sees an opening, and I believe Gargano was going for a Hurricane Rana. I wrote down Hurricane Rana. But Ciampa counters it, and he comes off the top rope with a super Project Ciampa. A fucking lung blower off the top rope. I'm like, holy shit, this has got to be it. Ciampa goes to cover. Gargano fucking kicks out, as he always does. Fans are going fucking crazy. Fans are on their feet. Ciampa then adjusts his knee brace after the last move, because I legitimately thought he fucking hurt his knee. Every move that Ciampa did, I was looking at his fucking knee. So he adjusts the knee brace. Ciampa removes the brace and clutches his knee. He starts pulling down his pad. He exposes his knee. He was going for, I guess, a meet them in the middle type move. He was going for a fucking, some type of running knee. Waits for Gargano to get up. Ciampa charges, but Gargano swings the brace and smacks Ciampa in the knee with it. So he takes the brace and smashes his knee with the brace. Does Gargano on Ciampa. So we have Gargano now in control. He swings the brace, smacks Ciampa in the knee with it. Gargano then grabs a crutch. Starts breaking the crutch. He places it in the corner. He steps on it. He breaks the bottom half of the crutch, exposing like a pointy piece of the crutch, right? Gargano charges to stab this piece of crutch at Ciampa, and he stops. He stops. Gargano then looks like he wants to stab the crutch into Ciampa, like he's stopping himself, right? He wants to do it, but he's stopping himself. So he stops, and Ciampa just sits there, shaking his head. He's like, wiping his sweat. He's like, I don't believe what's going on. Why are we doing this, right? Shaking his head. He's just sitting there. Gargano stands there, and he's like, I don't know if I should do this. I don't know if I want to do this anymore. So Gargano tosses the crutch, and he goes to sit down like they did at the Cruiserweight Classic. He goes to sit, Indian style, right across from Tommaso Ciampa. So Ciampa then pulls a cheap shot. He goes for the brace. He swings the brace, but Gargano knew it was coming. He dodges the inverted cheap shot. Gargano applies the Gargano escape. Tommaso Ciampa struggles. Then Johnny Gargano repositions himself. He takes the brace and he does a crossface with the brace right across Ciampa's face, and Tommaso Ciampa taps out almost immediately. Johnny Gargano wins. Not only does he win, he gets his fucking job back, man. Can we get Johnny Gargano the NXT Championship now that he's got his job back? Can we get Johnny Gargano versus Aleister Black for the NXT Championship? Please. Looks like Adam Cole's not going to be positioned as the next NXT champion with 2 titles around his fucking waist. So let's get Johnny Gargano in the world title situation, man. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Heading into Brooklyn, Aleister Black versus Johnny Gargano for the NXT Championship. Take my fucking money. Now. I hope it happens, man. Now we can start building towards Johnny Gargano getting that NXT Championship. What a fucking match, man. Started off slow. Started off a little bit underwhelming, but they picked it up, and the emotion and the struggle of two best friends not wanting to fucking legitimately kill each other. Them stopping and saying, what the fuck are we doing? Should we continue doing this? But deep down, Tommaso Champa is an evil motherfucker. He doesn't give a shit. He was trying to play mind games with Johnny Gargano. Wanted to fucking beat the shit out of him with his brace anyway. Gargano seen it coming. A little lapse in judgment there, but he got it. And he chokes out Tommaso Ciampa with his own brace to win the match and his job back, man. All of this equals the greatest NXT takeover of all time. Not only the greatest NXT takeover of all time, but the best, one of the best WWE pay-per-views that we will ever see WWE put on, man. Unbelievable fucking night. And let me tell you something, man. WrestleMania, good fucking luck topping what we've seen here tonight, man. WrestleMania may be 7 hours. There may be some fucking great moments, but this is why we love professional wrestling, man. NXT Takeover is the benchmark for what professional wrestling should always strive for. I'm getting the fuck out of here, man. Thank you guys so much. Thanks to Mike Will 87 for the beautiful layout. Thank you to Sal Rex for the beautiful thumbnail. Please go and follow them on Twitter if you can. Great support as always. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's the day, man. WrestleMania Sunday. I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's going to be a big day. Lots of shit going on. Any late breaking news, I'll cover it right here on the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed the review for what it is. I don't know how I cover these things, man. There's not one fucking bad thing to say about these shows. It's very difficult to cover the good shows. It's easier to cover the bad shows. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for WrestleMania, man. Thank you guys so much. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you tomorrow for WrestleMania 34.